So with me, I establish what I want from the beginning. We're talking or whatever the case may be, we decide to get serious. I let him know you may not live with me and I may not live with you, but you have to be responsible for some type of bill in my household. It doesn't have to be the mortgage. It doesn't have to be my car note. You don't have to know what bill you're paying, but I need to see how you're showing, how you're going to show up if we're going to take this thing seriously, because eventually I'm going to be dependent on you, not 100%, but I'm gonna lean on you as my
But
man.
you know why you can do that though? You have a house. Like most,
I get y'all men feel like y'all don't want to do for a woman what she's not doing for herself.
yeah.
That's
So
what I'm
I
saying.
mean, if a guy's to step to you, they have to already come prepared, knowing that all right, she already has this house without me. She built this life without me. So essentially, he has to just come into your life and be a man.
Right.
Women are putting a lot of harsh things out there on the internet. So tell me what you're seeing.
Women going online and saying things like, you don't need a man, never rely on a man. If you depend on a man as a protector and a provider, then you're going to end up single and alone, because when you turn 40, he's going to trade you in for a new 20-year-old chick. Women are going for those kind of guys and then saying all guys are like them, which just true. But then when you ask a woman, what do you look for in a partner? The first thing they will say, he needs to be financially stable. You ask these women, do you want a guy to pay on a first date? Well, for a woman who's so-called an independent boss and can handle herself, they seem to expect the guy to pay. The expectations of men haven't changed from when I was 5 till now. Be chivalrous, be kind, pay for this, that, and the other. But yet the expectations of women, so far as women are concerned, is you can't expect me to cook, you can't expect me to clean, your money is my money is also my money, and essentially treat me like a princess, and if you dare ask for anything in return, well, then you're a misogynist. You're a terrible guy, you're a monster.
And at some point in time, modern women have to understand that, you know, you told a man that you don't want a man talking to you. So when a man goes and, you know, is it a wrong thing for a man to go and do something else with his time besides being in somebody else's face? Because that's what modern women want. They want you to be in their face. They don't necessarily want anything with you because you're not Chad or Tyrone. They just want some attention and validation.
I think men are just used to powerless women, and they're seeing this new generation of women that are not waiting to be rescued. They're not waiting to be saved, because we've seen where that have got our mothers, our grandmothers, or even just other women. Women started believing in themselves more than believing in a man will rescue them. And that's when we started becoming unshakable, unstoppable, with standards and boundaries. And men are scared because men are raised to always get their value from a woman needing them. They're not used to leading without just holding you in a prison, making you dependent on them financially. I want to depend on my man, but not only financially.
I don't know who needs to hear this, but let's stop normalizing hating men. The hypocrisy of feminism is insane. Women want men to pay for dates, but still bash men for not doing enough. Women want men to protect, provide, and pursue, but then mock masculinity and call those same qualities toxic when it doesn't benefit them. They want men to lead, but they don't want to submit. They expect traditional men while rejecting traditional values. Majority of women, including those who portray a trad wife lifestyle, are not actually traditional.
Only 18% of Gen Z women believe a wife should always obey her husband. So what that means is nearly half of young women say they want to be traditional wives, but when asked whether a wife should actually obey her husband, barely any of them agree. They want the label, the lifestyle, and the benefits of traditional marriage, but not the hierarchy that historically defines it.
You can't constantly shame men, then wonder where all the good men are. Respect in your relationship is so important, because without respect, resentment starts to build. This is something a lot of women don't seem to understand, but respect isn't conditional, it's foundational. It isn't, if he does these things for me, then I'll respect him. You respect him because you chose to marry him, so you have to trust his discernment while understanding that you didn't marry someone perfect. You're not perfect, and neither is he. This is why having grace and growing together is so important, and why you need Jesus at the center of your marriage. If you want to start taking your faith seriously and actually stick to your goals, whether it's prayer, fasting, or reading the Bible every day, then click the link in my bio and download the Refiner's Fire app.
You know, you have a lot of modern women continuing to ask, where are all the men at? How come these men are not at singles events? Well, if you were to go to an event just to get humiliated, would you go? If you were going to the event just to honestly and truly become content, would you go? The answer is probably going to be not. I'm not coming. I'm not going to pay to be humiliated. The drinks are not going to be that good. The food's not going to be that good. We're not going to be doing anything that I want to do. So I'm not going. And that's how a lot of men think. Even if the drinks are good, even if the food is good. Okay, this looks like a place I would go, but I'm not going on that night. I'll go the next night or the night before or some other time.
How the do men feel like chasing a woman is the right way to go? Do you know what chasing is? Like what chasing is?
No, tell me.
Chasing is you running up behind someone who is running the away.
Why are you running?
Right.
So why the do you think it is okay for you to chase women when we're actually like good on you? That's very much so weird behavior. Stop chasing me. Oh, the men, they just love to chase. They just love to chase. You love to harass because that's what you're doing. You're in my DMs every day. You calling my phone, you texting me, you pulling up, or whatever the case may be. Oh, it's the chase. It's the thrill. No, it's weird. Stop chasing me.
I don't find fat women attractive. If a woman says, I don't find short men attractive, who cares? Nobody. If I say fat women aren't attractive, they're about to put me once again, good morning, fat shaming, misogynistic, that they're going to attack me for having a standard. Why am I not allowed a standard as a man? They have standards. In fact, I'd argue women have higher standards than anyone. Ask the average woman on the street what she wants in a man. The average woman. I don't want him to be short. I want him to be rich. I want him to be smart. I want him to be interesting, charismatic. He has to be spontaneous, and he has to love my family, and he has to love my dog. And then she'll go on for 25 minutes about what she wants.
You know, modern women, a lot of them thrive on what's out there. I'm doing it for the plot. What's next? But, you know, unless there's a little bit more uncertainty, especially in dating, men don't really thrive off of that same thing. And so, you know, when you run into the same thing over and over again and it gets expensive, then for a lot of men, that curiosity stops. I'm not really curious anymore about it because I already know what's going to happen. I already know what's going to happen. So I'm not really curious anymore. I'm more so tired. I'm more so frustrated. I'm more so upset. I'm no longer excited at the potential to meet somebody because for, you know, going out with these modern women, it ends poorly. So I'm at that point in time, a lot of men just check out. They just go their separate ways. I'm just going to keep on doing my thing. Don't worry about me.
Until you understand that women are literally children, you're not going to do very well with women. If you are taking women seriously and you are engaging with her as if she is your equal, she's going to kill you. You're going to get cooked. This starts from a very young age. They learn that they can do anything and get away with anything because their father is likely castrated and not allowed to discipline her. They don't even learn right from wrong. For example, instead of taking accountability, a woman will cry, argue, turn red, faint, lose her keys, lose her purse, call her ex, call her mother, kick the dog, run away, get a flat tire, go to jail. She will do all of this before she says, you know what, I was wrong, I'm sorry. Because that would be maturity. And women, like I said, are literally children.
Never underestimate how fast a woman will cut you off for making her feel like she's begging for your love. And it's not going to be overnight, but when it happens, it'll be fast, like a thief in the night. And it's funny because men always regret losing this type of woman. Not the one that's going to get revenge and sleep around to get her lick back, but the one who knows what she brings to the table and isn't afraid to eat alone. Yeah, these are hindsight 2020 women. The ones a lot of men don't even believe exist until they felt the pain in their chest from losing one. She'll walk away from your disrespect without looking back for your reaction. She's the one that's going to ignore men every day because she loves you, but if you fumble her, then you'll become one of those men that she's ignoring. And your begging won't be a bargaining chip once you crossed her boundaries because she knows she gave you every chance to get it right until you ran out of chances and she told you to get out. See, ego and insecurity will cause an immature man to misinterpret this woman's loyalty as too good to be true. Like she's just gonna up and leave, like she's just weighing better options. Whole time, she's only weighing your effort. And if it's adding up to the bare minimum, then it's going to be you that she subtracts. Because, man, you don't lose this kind of woman when your money ain't right or when another man comes along. You lose this type of woman when you start acting like she ain't much to lose. And then she'll show you better than she can tell you.
And you know, y'all keep on thinking because a man has opted out of dating and just stopped dating, that the man is bitter, that the man just hates women, when it's really just a cost-benefit analysis. That's it. Am I getting what I put out? And if I have to look at myself and say, I need to do better, well, maybe I don't need to be dating at that point in time. So that's one way. But if I look at myself and I'm saying, okay, I've got a couple of places that I can improve, right? But, you know, I'm kind of still looking. But when I look out there and I see maybe 2 or 3 things that I have to take care of versus you thinking that you better than me, and you saying, well, you got 10 things to take care of and I have none. I have none to take care of. A man is going to look at that and be like, delusional. So she says, I have tons of things to take care of, but she has none. I'm self-aware. I know there's probably a handful of things that I could do better, but she's saying she ain't got nothing to improve on. She's not even standing there thinking about what she can improve on. It's time for me to go sit down somewhere.
This may come as a shock, but I actually don't usually get treated any differently because of my tattoos. I live in LA where it's more socially acceptable to be heavily tattooed, but I visit places like Alabama often because I have family there. No one ever says anything, and if they do, it's usually complimentary. This morning I was going to LAX because I'm visiting Chicago, and I got in the car and the Uber driver straight up would not say a word to me. I got in, I said, hi, good morning, and she looked at me and literally did the sign of a cross. She would not look at me or speak to me for the entire ride because she thought I was demonic. Something about my demonic energy also made her a terrible driver. She missed like every exit, every turn. We're like 15 minutes from LAX. It took us 30 minutes to get there. Anyway, hi, your favorite demon girl is in Chicago for the weekend.
Yo, some women get on my nerve. Like, they're over here turning 40, telling me that, oh, I can't find a good man. And then they talk to someone and they just stop talking to them. And I'm like, well, what the fuck happened? Oh, well, I asked him what he was doing and he told me he was eating chicken wings. Okay, and that was it. He was eating chicken wings. You just stopped talking to him because he was eating chicken wings? No, he should have like ate something healthier. Like, I want my guy to eat something healthy. The guy wants chicken wings. You just stop talking to a guy for eating chicken wings. That's why you 40 and single. Like, what do you mean? They ain't good guys. He's not a good guy because he eats chicken wings? Get the fuck out of here.
Why don't women inherently go with the guy that's best for them?
To keep it very simple, historically, we have been programmed to conform to being a victim. Women, we like to be the one that got done wrong. This is why we struggle with accountability. Most women chase bad boys because being with a bad boy allows you to end up being a victim at some point or another.
Why do they want to be victims?
It is programmed in us that poor me is some type of flex as a woman and as a mother, where the majority of the women right off bat I knew I was going to be a single mother. I knew. And being a single mother, meaning a woman, poor woman left with children to raise on her own. That is something that they get to flex off of. They believe it is a flex. That's why when I say it produces the worst product, the comeback is, well, he did it to me. The bad boys will allow, you're able to say, girl, I was with Tyrone, he in the street. Yeah, he took me out. It was exciting. There's the excitement side, but then there's always, if this doesn't work out with Tyrone, I have a story where Tyrone was the one that did me wrong.
If you talk to me like that again, I'll walk away. Boundaries are not control. They are about preserving peace. Here's 3 ways to set boundaries without looking weak or cold. Number 1, decide what you will and won't accept. Make that clear. You can't defend a line that you haven't drawn. Number 2, communicate it clearly once. Say it calm and direct. If you talk to me like that again, I'll walk away. And number 3, enforce it every time. It's good for you, it's good for them. No emotion, no argument, just consistency. People respect what you protect. Boundaries are not walls, They are proof that you respect yourself.
Who cheats more, men and women, and men or women, and why?
I think men, because a lot of men think with their.
Yes, we do. But that doesn't mean we cheat more.
Do they have the same access as women, though? Do
No.
they have the same availability to cheat?
What do you mean? Yes,
Well, do
they
they?
do.
Is it as easy for a man to cheat as for a woman
Yes,
to cheat?
it is. I'm around men. I'm sorry. I'm around men that party a lot, and
we know.
just the status, not even like that, but like just the status that they have. A lot of women are on them. Like,
Listen, ladies, hold on, not to cut you off. I'm about to change all of your lives. The reason why you guys think men cheat more is because 95% of men are invisible to you. She just sat here and told you, I'm around men all the time. High status. No. Don't. No. You said men of status. Only the top 10% of men are regularly getting. Those are the only men that are visible to the naked eye from the average rank and file woman. And so when you ask a woman who cheats more, men or women, you're not thinking about 100% of men. You're thinking about the 10% of men you pay attention to, which is only the top 10% of men. So anytime there's a data set, understand your data set's flawed because you're only thinking about the men you want to.
Okay, is it actually true that a guy treats you the way he wants to be treated first, and then he starts treating you the way you've been treating him?
No, that's not true at all. I'm Max Butterfield, Dr. Max Butterfield. I study this kind of thing for a living, and I make daily reels about love, dating, attraction, relationships, and a whole bunch of other cool stuff. I don't have much cleavage to show you, but I can tell you what the data says. And you know what? My data is probably better than your data. So follow me if you want to know more. And again, like I said, no cleavage. Well, I mean, a little.
If you could get rid of men, snap your finger, would you do it?
I think I would have to sacrifice a big, and I think I would do it if I was capable, because the world would be a better place.
The world would be a better place if all men disappeared.
Men commit
The payoff,
90%
no
violent
no men.
crimes. If we wipe out 90% of crimes, there's only 10 left.
I genuinely think if you just disappear all men instantly without any preparation, I think like within 2 weeks, 50% of women are. You have to assume if you get rid of all men, because all men are way disproportionately the ones responsible for overseeing infrastructure, you get rid of all men.
He's woke. Confirmed.
What does that have to do with woke?
Men are in charge of like all of the infrastructure.
Telecoms, truck drivers, waste management, all men disappear on multiple levels that you couldn't even comprehend. There would be cascading infrastructure fuckery. The food supply, gone. Fires are going to break out within a couple days. There's no firemen to put them out.
There's fire women that already have jobs.
Had a date with a nice guy this evening. I knew he would treat me the way I should be treated. Why do I feel like I should run? Oh, girl, you guys tend to do this and self-sabotage your way out of a great thing. This happens with a lot of nice guys. You guys say you want nice guy treatment, but something inside of you says, I want some suspense. I want some drama. I like how nice he is. He's great, but he's too predictable. He's too predictable. I don't want to be able to predict this man. God damn it. That's a problem. That's a problem. You guys look for the excitement. You look for the drama. Get you going. And you can't just deal with a nice guy. I see it all the time, and I hate this. You might need to go to therapy. Ladies, if this is the case for you, you get something good, you want to self-sabotage it away. Why do I feel like I gotta run from the best thing that's hit me in a couple years? Self-sabotaging. Such a good moment. You're addicted to the drama, you ladies. I'm not saying you, I'm saying ladies. Ladies get addicted to this up and down, and I need the excitement. I need to be on my toes. I don't want to say it out loud that I want the suspense, because it makes me sound like the girl that claims the icks. I don't want to be that girl. So I'm just going to say I don't know why I don't like this nice guy. He does everything right, though.
I know men are really lonely. I'm a spicy content creator.
This ought to be interesting, at least.
And my most requested spicy audio recently has been love. These men are messaging me like, can you say my name and tell me you love me and miss me?
So what? In their expert opinion, that being of a female spicy content creator, does that actually mean?
You guys did this to yourself. No one likes you and no one misses you either, to the point where you have to pay people to say it to you.
Right. See, what they're failing to take into account is that they don't deal with the majority of men. The majority of men that are reasonable and mentally healthy. Because those men would never lower themselves to actually having to pay a woman for any kind of services, especially not having someone pretend to care about them. Because contrary to what some women might think, men would rather be lonely than actually have to lower themselves to paying for false affection.
You know that dating motto that girls came up with? If he won't, find someone who will. Like if he won't open your door for you, find someone who will. Simple, right? My brother just asked me, does that work for guys too? I was like, of course, find a girl that is up to your standards. Yeah. So he's like, so if she doesn't cook for me, find someone who will. Yeah, technically. If she won't do my laundry for me, then find a girl that will. If she won't come to the gym with me, find a girl that will. Why does it sound so bad when men...
See, this is a generation where men were all taught how to treat women, how to serve them, how to talk to them, and most importantly, how to not upset them. Things like happy wife, happy life. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. You ever heard this one? The two most important words a man should learn when he gets married are, I'm sorry. And I want to ask everyone, who here has ever seen someone teaching their daughters how to treat a man, teaching them how they can best serve him, how they should humble themselves and apologize to him, how they should do things that make him happy? No, they were taught if he's not doing it for you, someone else will. If he ain't making you happy, someone else will. If he's not making enough money, someone else will. And on and on and on, which has created a generation of entitled women and passive pushover men who are both miserable.
Fellas, if you're dealing with a woman that won't submit to you, you might as well leave her where she at because she's not going to change. Women know who to play with. If she doesn't submit to you, 9 times out of 10, she has already built her perspective of you. She thinks that you're weak and you're not worthy of leading her. Although you may actually be a leader and a good man for her, but she doesn't see you as that. Regardless of you being worthy, some women are just the way that they are. Typically, women that won't submit shows all of the red flags in the beginning. But because of your lust for her, you look past it. Now you end up in a relationship with a woman that won't submit to you. And that's the worst thing you can do, because then she's going to manipulate you and make it harder for you to leave. So if you're dealing with a woman that don't respect you enough to submit to you, don't ignore it, fellas. Free game.
Ladies, a lot of y'all are stuck in situations because you're not willing to take the complete L. And I want to be very specific of the things that I'm talking about, okay? Hi, my name is Tasia. I'm a confidence and dating coach, and I teach women how to control their emotions so that their emotions don't control them. You planned a trip for his birthday, and you bought the tickets, and it was his birthday trip, but now y'all breaking up, he acting up, y'all not together no more. You're dragging it out. Oh, well, if I cancel the tickets, I'm not going to get my money back. So what? Cancel it. Cancel it. He doesn't want you. You're not going to be with him. It's over. Cancel it. Oh, well, if I cancel the plane ticket, he's going to be the one to get the credit. Let him get the credit. Merry Christmas to him. Cancel it. You scared? Cancel it. Oh, well, I live with him now, and he's the one paying all the bills. You was paying your own rent before you met him. Move out. Your name isn't on the lease. Why do you care? Now all of a sudden you don't know if you can live on your own. You were living on your own before you met him. Move out. Oh, I left my gym bag over his. Buy a new gym bag. Buy a new Stanley Cup. Nobody cares. It's over. Oh, well, the dog, he bought me the dog. Get another dog. I know how y'all feel about y'all dogs. Get another one. Get another poodle snoodle cockapoodle. Move on. He doesn't want you. You're dragging it out. You holding on by your ponytail. Let it go. Oh, well, we work together. Get a new job. You got a master's degree. You're a nurse. You can work anywhere. Get another job. Nobody cares. Y'all are dragging these things out. And I'm telling you, when you're willing to take the absolute complete L, baby, you'll be in a bag. You'll be a whole nother person. You'll be unrecognizable. Listen, baby, I ain't telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And if I'm wrong, put me out of business.
I want to make this very clear. If you're a married man and you have a wife, if she says no, The answer is no. Because you're married to her or you guys have been in a long-term relationship, that does not give you the right to her body at any point in time of which you need satisfaction. If she says no, it's no. And I think a lot of people don't know or aren't aware of the fact that if you're married to a woman, you can still SA her.
And let me make this perfectly clear. If you're a married man and your wife tells you no, go have sex with another woman. Because the same way you don't have a right to her body at any given time of which you want to satisfy yourself, she doesn't have a right at any given time to tell you what to do with your Johnson. Let's see how they like them apples.
This is probably going to ruffle some feathers, but at some point, we have to work with men again. Yeah, I know. And I'm probably going to get burnt at the stake for saying that. But look around. There's so much red pill content right now, and it's happening on both sides. Men are basically bashing women, and women are basically bashing men. And I have to ask, how many of you guys are raising sons? I know I am. What are we actually teaching them? Because if we keep moving like this, if we keep hating on men as a whole, do we just go extinct? Serious question. Here's the part that nobody wants to admit. It sucks, but we have to admit it. Just because we met the wrong men in the beginning doesn't mean that the right men aren't out there actually trying to do the work. I know a lot of them. I have one of them, thank God. I'm a lucky woman. But for years, a lot of us women have been saying, listen to us, hear us, understand where we're coming from. And men, in a way, have been saying the same thing on their end. Somewhere, we got lost. We stopped working with each other altogether, and now it feels like everybody's against each other. Women are demanding everything from men, and men are demanding submission from women, and the standards are so high on both sides, nobody's holding themselves accountable anymore. So what's the plan? Do we just keep screaming at each other? I don't think that's helping. Do we keep blaming each other? When do we actually start to course correct? Because this conversation actually matters. I want to hear your thoughts respectfully. How do we become one again?
So tell me this, when women want honesty and transparency and all this, if there was a time in our relationship and I was like, hey, my flesh is really like getting the best of me. I thought about, I was at the gym and I was looking at girls' butts and I actually thought about going to like hit on one, but I wanted to tell you first so you can help me, talk me through it, help me through it type thing. Is that the type of honesty that you would want?
I would want that honesty because to me that is transparency. But I've told you before, I understand that it's harder on a man than it is a woman. Like I can go the rest of my life and never get hit on and never care to hit on another guy. I don't have the urge. I don't have the desire. It's fine. Not all women are like me either. A lot of women crave attention from other men and they want to go get it. I don't have that problem, but I also understand as a man, it's harder. So if that's happening, I would rather you come tell me, because to me that it almost probably would feel better to say it. And then maybe you'll forget about it after you tell me. I don't know. I mean, that's how I guess I would hope that it would happen.
This is what high value men truly are. Your high value is determined by the level of woman you can get to submit to you. But if you can get a woman who is up there, has plenty of options, and is inaccessible, highly loyal, if you can get that woman to submit to you, that's when you're high level. So if you want to know whether you're a high value man, look at the highest level of women you can get to totally be loyal to you. And if it's low, you're not that high value. And the other thing that they do that I find really bizarre is they take any kind of woman and then don't give her too much, play games, treat her harshly. That's not what high value men do. They've got a reputation. They can't just take any old girl and then try and train her. They ain't got time for that. They take a woman who's been well trained by her family. This was what truly high value men do. They pick wisely. They pick super wisely. They're highly selective with the women that they choose, and then when they've chosen her correctly, they spoil her endlessly.
Women just tend to men when they know that they're their only source of sex, and that's where the problem comes in. I see so many men where they're married and the wife knows that he doesn't cheat, and she just does not appreciate his loyalty. And I see women where they think that the husband either could cheat or would cheat, and they just tend to treat him better.
Yeah, tend to behave better.
Yeah, and I think that's what I was saying, where as much as you don't like it, I can see why.
Yeah, but can there be that luminous implicit threat without it ever even being stated? I think there can be, and I think that those guys, a lot of those guys who can do that, they don't even bother saying, what do they need to say it for? It's well known that they can just do it.
You can't tell her.
Yeah, you don't need to tell her, right? It's not.
Yeah.
It's not important. So,
Right.
how's that? But how's that a prescription? There's such a small, select few guys who can do that.
Mhm.
Who have?
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I think it's more common than you'd think. I met this guy the other day. He was like 5'7", overweight. He was showing me his rotation. It was like 5, 22, 23-year-old women.
Was he rich?
No, he was just a good talker. He was just easy to talk to. So I don't know if it's like, from what I've seen, the PUAs, I don't think they're always the most attractive, or rich guys. Like, sometimes they're just charming.
I think the manosphere has completely warped how people see dating. It pushes this idea that value is about money, looks, how many people you can pull. For girls, it's all about the body count. This manosphere ignores anything that would make a real relationship be sustainable, healthy, and happy. What you need is emotional stability, respect, and consistency. But the weirdest part, the same men will go for the women that they view as low value and then complain about them. That's not standards at all. That is a complete lack of self-awareness. If you actually valued yourself, you wouldn't choose what you look down on. That's why dating feels so confusing right now in 2026. What do you think?
Some women only want leadership until leadership disagrees with them. Then it's toxic. It's controlling. Then it's a problem. Sis, you prayed for a man who leads. You said you wanted someone with vision, with direction, someone who makes decisions and stands on them. And God sent you exactly that. But the moment his leadership doesn't align with what you already decided in your head, now he's controlling. Agreement is easy. Anybody can follow when the direction feels good. The test of trust is when you don't agree. When his decision does not match your preference. When his direction feels uncomfortable. That's where relationships either grow or they break. A man can't lead a home where every decision requires pre-approval from the person who asked him to lead in the first place. He's going through the motions of authority while not having any of it. And eventually he stops trying. He realized that the position wasn't real. You gave him a title with no power behind it. And here's what nobody wants to hear. If you only follow when it's easy, you're not following. You're just allowing. And a man knows the difference. He feels it. He knows when his leadership is respected and when it's just tolerated. Tolerated leadership produces a passive man. Every single time. You're going to watch him shrink in real time and wonder, what happened to the man that I fell in love with? What happened to the man that I married? Now, this has nothing to do with blind obedience. This has nothing to do with the woman having no voice. Two people agreed on roles. One of them only honors the agreement when it's convenient. That's the fracture. If you ask God for a leader and he sent you one, let him lead when it feels good and when it doesn't. When you agree with him and when it requires trust that you haven't built yet. When it means releasing control you've been holding since before he arrived. That is the partnership that you prayed for. It just looks different than what you expected, but it always does.
And, a lot of these men have moved on to greener pastures, if I can say it like that. They've moved on to better things. They've moved on to not chasing women around. And so you might be asking the question, or, might be wondering why a man is not willing to beg, right? And as a matter of fact, my wife and I just got through watching this show. I think it's on Netflix called My Worst or The Worst Ex Ever or something like that. And you look at these women and they cry and they complain. And I think I might have only seen the first 2 episodes, right? And you don't want to condone what people are doing to the victims, but you hear the victims talk about what they've gone through. And then you'd be like, why did you even put yourself through that? But yet instead, y'all are getting into relationships. Modern women are getting into relationships with criminals. Literal, and this is not an exaggeration. They're on the books, official criminals. They're felons. Oh, well, I loved them and I just couldn't part ways. The man takes advantage of the woman sexually. And she's, oh, well, I still couldn't leave him. Are you joking? But y'all sit out here and give the good man flack. You want the good man to get down on bended knee and beg you to stay. You should be running it.